We'll be all right.
Nature can be a brutal enemy when it turns against you. From freezing mountains to shark-infested waters, today we are counting down the top 10 survival movies based on terrifying true stories. These are not just films, but real battles for life where every second counts. Number 1 is absolutely speechless and shocking. Let's survive this journey together. Imagine hanging by a rope on the deadliest rock face in the Alps with a blizzard closing in. North Face takes you back to 1936, where 2 German climbers attempt the impossible Eiger climb. It stops being a sport and quickly becomes a desperate fight against freezing death. The tension is so real you will feel the cold in your bones. Nature shows no mercy here, and one small mistake costs everything. It is a terrifying watch that demands respect for the mountains. The IMDb rating of this movie is 7.4. Swimming in freezing water while bleeding from a gunshot wound seems impossible. In The 12th Man, one Norwegian soldier defies physics to escape the Nazis across the brutal Arctic. After a failed mission, he is the only survivor, facing frostbite so severe he has to cut off his own toes. It sounds like fiction, but this incredible story of endurance and the kindness of strangers is 100% real. It is a raw look at human willpower when all hope is lost. The IMDb rating of this movie is 7.4. A covert mission goes horribly wrong in the mountains of Afghanistan. Lone survivor drops you into a war zone with 4 Navy SEALs surrounded by an entire Taliban army. Based on a failed mission, it focuses on the heartbreaking brotherhood between soldiers who refuse to leave each other behind. They fall down cliffs and take bullets but keep fighting. The action is brutal, loud, and deeply emotional. You will be on the edge of your seat until the very end of this battle. The IMDb rating of this movie is 7.5. One moment you are relaxing by the pool, and the next you are underwater fighting for air. The Impossible captures the terrifying reality of the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami. When a massive wave tears a family apart, their physical and emotional journey to find each other is gut-wrenching. The visuals of the destruction are haunting, but the acting makes it real. It is difficult to watch, but impossible to look away. This film proves that love is the strongest survival tool. The IMDb rating of this movie is 7.5. We all think we want to survive, but this movie tests that limit. 127 hours shows how much pain a human can endure to live. Trapped by a boulder in a lonely Utah canyon, hiker Aron Ralston faces a nightmare scenario. With limited water and a dull knife, he records his goodbyes. The film is a claustrophobic masterpiece that builds up to one of the most shocking and brave moments in cinema history. It will change how you look at life and your own limbs forever. The IMDb rating of this movie is 7.5.
Christy! Megan! Christy!
The world stopped breathing when a young soccer team got trapped deep inside a flooded cave system. 13 Lives is a masterclass in tension without needing explosions. It is a race against rising rainwater and depleting oxygen. Watching expert divers navigate pitch-black, narrow tunnels to sedate and carry the boys out is terrifying. This film highlights the incredible power of global cooperation to save innocent lives against impossible odds. The IMDb rating of this movie is 7.7.
Nice one, Chris!
Well done. Thanks, my boy.
A routine cargo trip turns into a deadly hostage crisis on the high seas. Captain Phillips turns a news headline into a nerve-wracking thriller. The tension between the Somali pirate leader and the American captain is electric. They are stuck in a tiny lifeboat sweating out the final hours. Tom Hanks delivers a final scene that captures the trauma of survival so perfectly it feels like a documentary. It is a gripping ride from the first minute to the last involving the US Navy snipers. The IMDb rating of this movie is 7.8.
Execute.
Stranded for 72 days in the freezing Andes, with absolutely no food, requires unthinkable choices. Society of the Snow tells the true story of a rugby team's plane crash. It forces the young survivors to cross a line most of us cannot imagine just to stay alive. Unlike other versions of this story, this one focuses deeply on friendship and the spiritual toll of their choices. It is haunting, beautiful, and absolutely devastating to watch. The bond between them is the real miracle here. The IMDb rating of this movie is 7.8. Buried alive and left to rot in the snow, Hugh Glass refuses to die. The Revenant is a visual masterpiece of pain and revenge. Leonardo DiCaprio doesn't just act. He suffers through freezing rivers, raw bison liver, and brutal bear attacks. The cinematography makes you feel the cold wind on your face. It is a brutal, bloody, and unforgettable journey of a man fueled by pure rage and grit to survive the wilderness. You have never seen a survival movie this raw and real. The IMDb rating of this movie is 8. Leaving society is seen by some as a dream and by others as a death sentence. Into the Wild is the tragic poetic story of Christopher McCandless. He burned his money to live off the land in Alaska, searching for ultimate truth. The film is visually stunning, but emotionally crushing as his dream slowly turns into a starvation nightmare. It reminds us that happiness is only real when shared. It is a powerful warning about the beauty and cruelty of nature that lingers in your mind. The IMDb rating of this movie is 8.1.